Hello and welcome to this presentation on behalf of Choral Arts of New England Board of Directors to discuss art collaborations with People First Technologies. Thank you so much to CONCORA for inviting us to join their wonderful suite of educational programming as part of their summer festival. That's what started this education session, and we were honored to take part. My name is Katie Hart. I am a recent MBA graduate with a focus in information systems and business analytics. I work as the Director of Operations for Home Healthcare, Hospice, and Community Services, a mid-sized nonprofit in Keene, New Hampshire. I also have a bachelor's degree in voice performance and sing with many amazing ensembles. I'm thrilled to have spent the last decade on the roster with CONCORA, and last year I joined the board of CANE, just as they were launching this exciting new project. It marries my data science and my musical brain, and I'm fired up about it. And I hope you will be too after this presentation. First, let me tell you a little bit about CANE. CANE's mission is to provide resources to elevate choral music and creativity in New England, primarily through Alfred Nash Patterson grants, which are given annually for outstanding projects that further choral arts. The A&P grant supports adventurous programming that broadens choral repertoire by encouraging the performance of new compositions and long-neglected works. They support the musical education and training of young singers. These grants encourage cooperation among choral groups or between a choral group and another interesting collaborator. Recent A&P grant recipients include the Hartford Choral, the Kent Singers, the Worcester Children's Chorus, and many other choral organizations you know. The GM Chorale, the Voices of Consinity, and CONCORA have all previously benefited from A&P grants. CANE is very well known for the A&P grants, and CANE works to elevate music and creativity and promote singing throughout New England in a variety of ways. The Lifetime Achievement Award is presented annually to individuals who have made exceptional contributions to choral singing and its culture within New England. This illustrious group of previous recipients include Peter Bagley, Alice Parker, Maggie Brooks, Gwyneth Walker, and CONCORA's very own Richard Coffey. Shameless plug. We hope you can join us at our 41st annual awards ceremony on Sunday, October 26th at 3 p.m. It will take place at First Congregational Church in Winchester, Massachusetts, as we present this year's award. I won't give away who it is just yet. You'll have to come join us. CANE has a rich online presence that includes a choral calendar that aims to list all major choral events in New England. CANE also keeps a directory of all New England choral societies. Anyone can submit a calendar event or a directory listing for consideration, so please feel free to add yours. CANE also gathers information of interest to New England choral singers on our website and puts out the occasional newsletter. A new opportunity is the David Hoos Commissioning Grant, a biennial grant to support meaningful new choral music with instrumental accompaniment named after composer, hornist, and conductor David Hoos, who has been an energetic force in the development of choral music in New England for over 40 years. This grant supports new compositions that explore choral music's unique capacity to help us understand our history, reflect on our present, and envision our future. Applications are open now through October 31st. More information is available on the CANE website. Finally, the CANE Board of Directors has partnered with People First Technologies to present the Choral Opportunities Workshop. And that's really what I'm here to discuss today. But let's back up. How did we get here? What inspired this collaboration? In March 2024, CANE sent a survey to all New England choruses to learn about the challenges that choral organizations are currently facing. As a granting organization, we wanted to know how best to use our resources to support the work of choral organizations to ensure the continued quality of music in our region. We were thrilled to receive 77 responses to the survey, giving Kane some great insight into the challenges of running a successful choral organization in this post-COVID world. Of all the challenges that came to light in this survey, two topics rose quickly to the top. 27 organizations listed that their primary challenge was finding new singers. That number rises up to 53% of all choirs if you count the organizations that listed this either as their first or their second top challenge. And even if groups can find those new singers, how do they keep them around? Retention of singers quickly rose as the secondary challenge based on our survey results. You may note here that there are groups that seem to have different primary and secondary challenges. Yes, this is true. But when we're looking at the success of choral organizations in New England as a whole, these were the two metrics that really stood out. Or, as another Kane board member put, they are the choral world's apex predators. The immediate threats and long-term impacts of these predators make them constant and significant danger for the whole of our coral species. I am also regularly told by my husband that I take metaphors much too far, so I promise to leave this one here for now. But the initial data was clear to us that these are two challenges that many organizations are experiencing. Now, if you've ever been on a board or a leader in an organization, you've probably conducted a survey or perhaps dug into data or metrics for your social media or website or wanted to learn about who attended your performances or who donates to your organization. And before you know it, you have a ton of data and aren't sure what to do with it. What's important? What matters? What should we act on to better fortify our organization or create resilience? How do we use this to inform our work going forward? Kane had the exact same questions, and we knew we needed help. In steps the amazing Lalitha Shivaswamy, immediate past president of the Hartford Choral, current board member of Kane, and CEO of People First Technologies. People First Technologies, or PFT, as you may hear me refer to them, helps companies and organizations support employees, create meaningful work, and increase employee engagement. They use a scientific engagement model, which I'll discuss more in a moment, combined with machine learning and collaborative data science to address real challenges. Their unique platform uses a positive leadership approach, keeping people's well-being at the forefront. These strategies help people feel engaged, valued, and supported. Employees are motivated to give their best. They're collaborating to meet the organization's goals and values, and they feel good about where they work. PFT uses a science-based AI-powered model developed by Cécile Dejoux. This model has been published in the French Harvard Business Review and contains a database of over 600,000 people's responses. All the responses gathered are anonymous per the EU privacy rules, and this model has been used by Air France, Michelin, and many, many others. The model uses 5 R's to build collaboration and commitment. These 5 R's are roles. This ensures that each person has a role that contributes to the team and outlines their official job tasks. Rules, the rules of the organization. Recognition, how each person's contribution to the team is acknowledged. Respect, this defines the markers of basic respect in the group. And routines, routines characterize the group's culture. While the 5 R's model was built on corporate data, the kinds of data collected by these corporations lent itself naturally to apply to any organization wanting to improve engagement and retention. Lalitha, with one foot in the data science world and another in the choral world, saw the possibilities and connected PFT and Kane. PFT readily agreed to use its proprietary platform to help address recruitment and retention in courses, starting this exciting collaboration. Let me also pause here and sincerely thank People First Technologies for providing these incredible resources to all of us for a drastically reduced fee of $50 per workshop participant. Much of the work that PFT is doing is donated in kind and has the potential to make positive change for New England choral organizations for years to come. For anyone in the corporate world, you know how much of a steal this is. I'm not even going to tell you how much PFT charges for their corporate clients. It's a lot. Kane is further offsetting the cost for organizations by providing space and lunch for the workshops. So thank you, PFT, for making this possible. This is the process that PFT uses with their corporate clients. Kane was able to skip steps 1 and 3 because we had already gathered this data from the results of the 2024 survey. We were able to skip directly to recruiting a handful of organizations for our pilot workshop and sending the workshop participants, and at least 2 other non-participants from each choir, the Employee PFT questionnaire, which is step 2, in advance of the workshop. We gathered over 30 responses to ensure anonymized data for the 10 workshop participants. This information helped PFT create a number of use cases for the pilot workshop. Now, what's a use case? What does that mean? PFT created a number of classic problems for discussion, things that many choral organizations can relate to, like specific issues with recruitment and retention. And these use cases helped focus the conversation and keep it targeted on the challenge right in front of them. They create space for discussions of difficult or sensitive topics in a non-confrontational and neutral way. These use cases are issues about some other made-up organization. And even if it's a real problem that your organization could have or has, it gives just enough space for people to think critically and creatively. Let me give you an example. A use case for a choral organization may be that someone new walks into an established choir that hasn't had a new person in a long time. The new person is excited to join and they bring good experience. However, the tenured singers don't really know what to do to engage this new person. What are the strategies the choir could use to make that person feel welcome? These kind of use cases about recruitment and retention are incredibly important for choirs because our financial and creative success hinges on these issues. These discussions are the ways to combat these apex predators. Then we invited people to a workshop where we pair a use case like this one with the 5R card game, which is step 5. This encourages conversations that are objective and solutions-based. And that's exactly what we saw during our pilot workshop in March 2025. This 2-hour pilot workshop in Newton, Massachusetts consisted of choral directors, singers, staff, and board members of 10 choirs. 8 were from the Boston area and 2 were from Connecticut. PFT selected one use case to pair with the 5R card game, and the use case engendered truly fruitful discussions. This was an opportunity for choral leaders to meet similar people, to talk through real problems, to get help, and to walk away with a data-driven action plan based on real challenges from their organization. You can see an example of one of the cards in front of the 5R card game on the right. The cards don't have solutions on them, but each card addresses one of the 5Rs and directs the conversation. The cards offer strategies and also tells you why the strategy might work to address the problem in the use case. This card is about the R rules. Question the process, not the people. It gives specific examples on how to do that. ask process-oriented questions, like the 5 whys approach. I love this one because it's right out of my business strategy playbook. Keep asking why over and over again until you get to the root of the issue. And then the card tells you why you should employ this strategy. Focus on facts and make them the foundation of your culture. This creates an environment of trust, and that's something you can build your organization on. You can see from this picture that this was not a sedate conversation. People were engaged in rich discussion, peeling back layers and whys, and thinking about what changes are necessary for their organizations not only to survive, but to thrive. The participants reported value in getting together and having these discussions. These people showed up because they wanted to address these challenges in their organizations. They weren't coming with solutions, but by talking together, connecting with others with similar challenges, PFT was able to suggest valuable solutions. We gathered a lot of data before and during the workshop day. The group that gathered together were highly engaged, and 25% reported that they were at their maximum level of engagement possible. 65% of the group were women. 65% were above 60 years of age. And 70% of those gathered were passionate about their job of choral singing or leading a choral organization. However, 55% reported feeling stress about participating in their choral organization, and 50% have already experienced a choral burnout. There were multiple issues leading to this stress and burnout. And as I'm sure anyone who has ever led any kind of organization can identify with, many of these items, budgets, lead times, responsibilities, cumbersome procedures were all primary contributors. There were also secondary issues that contributed to stress. There are generational differences in expectations. People come in with different approaches and challenge the way we've always done it. This can rock the boat and make it hard to recruit and retain possibly new and disruptive singers. PFT gathered all of this data and began analysis. This is the real data science behind our approach. It's the action slide. It would also take me another 30 minutes to explain everything on this slide, but I wanted to show you some of the data analysis that goes into the AI model from the surveys and the workshops and the discussions. And the information that comes out of this goes to show which of the 5 Rs are most important and which order they need to be implemented. If you come to the workshop, you'll get one of these colored lines for your organization. You'll see how you compare to the benchmark of 1,000 service companies, and I'll tell you a lot more. For now, you just need to know that using these fancy colorful graphs, PFT formulated an action plan for each participant's respective course. But there were some larger general findings that I'm happy to share with you today. Back to the 5 Rs. When PFT took the results from the survey and put it in the AI model, it noted that in general, rules and respect were pretty solid within participating choral organizations. The rules pointed to the mission of each organization, leaving little room for confusion. And music making in an ensemble necessitates a level of respect where focus and attention are required. Recognition could use a little love, and the AI model suggested that increasing informal everyday recognitions was key to strengthening this R. Now, the AI model identified that roles and routines are primary drivers for engagement and well-being within choral organizations. However, recommendations from the AI model were diverse, and they covered far too much ground for an organization to make a truly actionable plan. And this, my friends, is one of the many reasons why AI is not quite ready to take over the world. AI couldn't do it all, and we needed the humans to come together for creative problem solving. The workshop discussions forced people to choose what was most important to put in the action plan. And once this was clarified in the workshop, that's when the AI model could really shine. Have you ever been in a situation where there was a lot of ideas and energy, but there was no system to help implement those ideas? The energy is real, the ideas are plentiful, but somehow creativity stays stuck in the brainstorming stage. This AI system helps choral groups focus, make a plan, and make productive changes. The AI model knew that routines and roles needed to be addressed immediately. And with all this information now gathered, it points us to focus on specific strategies. At the end of the workshop, the participants define these specific strategies to pursue that address their organizational needs. And PFT combined these and formulated an action plan using their proprietary methodology for the workshop participants to take back to their organizations. These are some examples of strategies chosen by the workshop participants to pursue. Most organizations focused theirs on roles and routines, since that was identified as the primary drivers of engagement and well-being. They revamped their routines by sharing an inspiration of the week or instituting the buddy system. They better defined roles in the organization or created new ones and identified people to fill them, roles like communication leader or decision pusher. And finally, for recognition, they started giving praise in front of the team, either the section or the whole chorus, or built in ranking challenges where sections would compete or work together toward a goal. This is an actual screenshot of a collaborative action plan. It's pretty small, and I've obfuscated the data because I don't want to give away the specific challenges this group is trying to overcome. But I wanted you to see the layout and that it essentially fits on one piece of paper. Each action plan has the 5 R's on the left-hand side. It lists the specific strategies chosen and what those strategies actually means. For example, on the last slide, I mentioned the buddy system. This column might note that for this organization, the buddy system pairs up an expert with a novice, or people of 2 different generations to work together and learn from each other. The green column is the workshop notes. What did you discuss in the workshop that will make these strategies even more successful in your organization? And the final 2 columns are priority and deployment date of the specific actions. This makes them achievable and holds you accountable to make progress on these specific action items. PFT creates a draft of this plan, meets with the workshop participants for review and comments, and then creates a final version to deploy. PFT also follows up for a whole year with quarterly check-ins. These check-ins track progress and reevaluate the action plan to assure that each group has the best chance of making successful changes. So, why? Why is Kane doing this? What do we get out of the deal? As I said at the beginning, Kane's mission is to provide resources to elevate choral music and creativity in New England. And we have a vested interest in doing so because we all love to sing. We want to be part of the amazing, engaged, diverse choirs that are resilient in times of change. And we want that for you, too. We sought this partnership so that your organizations can benefit, your organizations can grow and change. Your choir can recruit and retain new singers. Your choir members will feel engaged and that they belong so that your organization can survive and thrive. So I invite you to join us at one of our future workshops to ensure that our choral organizations are here to stay, to grow, to thrive, and to stave off the apex predators. Our next workshop is on Saturday, September 27th in Cromwell, Connecticut, and we have another one scheduled for Saturday, October 4th in Lebanon, New Hampshire. We have more information on our website on how to register for each of these two workshops, and there are more coming in the future. Stay tuned. Choral Arts New England truly wants to provide resources to elevate choral music and creativity in New England. And I hope you and your organizations will take advantage of this amazing opportunity. Thank you so much for your time. Again, thanks to CONCORA for spurring this presentation. And thank you so much to Choral Arts New England and People First Technologies for making this available to all of us. And I hope that you join us at a future workshop. Thank you so much for your time.